Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I do want to speak about the match between Barcelona and Monaco and clear up some things. I do think that right now there is a lot of negativity, a lot of frustration, which is very understandable. Once again, I understand what you guys are feeling because you guys wanted to come out from this match with a win and get 3 points. Because now you do have the media and other football fans that are not Barcelona fans saying that Barcelona is trash, that Hansi Flick is finished, etc, etc. But this video hopefully can help you guys understand what actually went on. As I do answer most of you guys' questions, I'm going to be explaining the Barcelona match that I believe will cover many of you guys' questions, because most of the questions that did come on, it is about Eric García and Ter Stegen. So this is going to be seen as a very optimistic point of view, and I understand, but here's the thing. What I am saying here is not optimistic. I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything. I am saying the reality. What's happening right now is that because many are so pessimistic about the situation that Barcelona is in right now, when I explain the reality, you see that as a very optimistic point of view because you guys are so pessimistic. If I was being optimistic, I would have said, no, don't worry, Barcelona is going to be winning 7-0 for the next 4 to 5 matches because we're going to be having all of these players back. Hansi Flick is going to get it right. That is being a very toxic, optimistic type of fan. I'm not being optimistic here. This is the reality. It just so happens that many of the Barcelona fans are very frustrated, which once again, it is very much understandable. So here's the thing. I'm going to be answering 4 questions within a span of 1 response, and it is going to be coming from Joseph Lamodi. Then we do have another one coming from Shuba MNA Garcar 8111. I'm sorry that I'm butchering your guys' names. It's so hard to read the usernames, but I'm trying my best. And then we have another one coming from Lee Prince 1999, and then we have Maro 3925. This is what they asked. Hey Kevin, what would you have done if you were Hansi Flick after Eric Garcia was sent off? And do you think Flick was fumed about what Mats did? Then we have another question that states, do you think we should always have a backup plan for the 10 men and 9 men situation? Then we have another one which states, when would Marc-Andre Ter Stegen leave FC Barcelona? Our squad are too good to have a keeper bring us down. Please, I want to know. Then we do have another question that states, hello Kevin, Barcelona is the club of my life. I defend this club even though most of my friends are Madrid fans. The real question is, don't you think Ter Stegen should do better in big games? Because I think we could have won this game and the keeper could have saved the second goal and prevent the red card. What are your thoughts? So let's start with the analysis. Obviously, Barcelona lost 2-1 against Monaco. The reason why Barcelona went down by 1 man, it is because of the dynamic between Ter Stegen and Eric Garcia. But if we look back at that play and we look at what Eric Garcia did, Eric Garcia was trying to run back as fast as possible to be the opening to Marc-Andre Ter Stegen's pass, because the whole idea in this play was for Eric Garcia to receive the ball, pass it quickly to Cubarsí or Inigo Martinez in order for that defender, whoever it may be, to run with the ball into space into the middle of the pitch. Because with Eric Garcia running as fast as possible to receive the ball, it did move the central attacking midfielder of Monaco away from the midfield, leaving open spaces, leaving for numerical advantages to happen. That was the game plan. That is how Barcelona becomes so vertical and attack through the middle. They take players off from their areas. Eric Garcia should have been much faster in this situation. This is the reason why Hansi Flick cannot wait for the arrival of Gavi or Frankie de Jong, especially Frankie de Jong, because in an ideal world, Frankie de Jong should have been there. What did I say earlier this year about Frankie de Jong's role? He is the first receiver. Frankie de Jong is the player that you want to count on if you want to pass it to a player when you are a goalkeeper. Frankie de Jong is a great first receiver because he can retain the ball, he can maneuver his way and away from the pressure because he simply does have those capabilities. He has great ball control. Eric Garcia is not a first receiver. Unfortunately for Barcelona and Hansi Flick, these were our only options. It was only Eric Garcia. Like what, you're going to put Pedri there in that position? Pedri was playing as a number 10. Casado was not going to be a first receiver either. It had to be Eric Garcia, but Eric Garcia made a huge mistake, and Ter Stegen on his part, because many of you guys are assuming that I'm just blaming Eric Garcia, for Ter Stegen, he should have had much more demand and command in this play and say, you know what, I know that we practiced this, I know that this is what we're supposed to do, I'm supposed to pass it to Eric Garcia, and Eric Garcia is going to be passing it to whichever center back is open, but because he is being marked and because he ran late, I'm going to pass it somewhere else. That is what Ter Stegen should have done. So neither of the 2 players did the right thing in this moment here, and this is something that Hansi Flick needs to fix as fast as possible, because or else this is going to eat us alive through the rest of the season. Every player, whoever is in the CDM role, needs to be ready, and I hope that when Frankie de Jong and Gavi do come back, this situation can be resolved. Because let me tell you, Ter Stegen has not been in bad form this season. I know that many might say, okay Kevin, but you know Frankie's going to be back, Gavi's going to be back, we're going to be having a great midfield, but what about Ter Stegen? Ter Stegen is still going to be trash. Look, if Barcelona play well, if we are collective, if we are united, Ter Stegen is also going to play well. The reason why Ter Stegen has been so trash in the past 6 to 7 years is because Barcelona has has been trash in the past 6 to 7 years? Like, tell me, how many Champions Leagues has Barcelona won in the past 6 to 7 years? None. That is because of our horrible sporting project. That is because of our horrible defense, our horrible attack. Barcelona were not doing well and we were not performing. Mainly also due to the fact that we had no financial capabilities to buy any player to reinforce our squad. When you have a bad team, the goalkeeper is also going to play bad. If Barcelona get their shit together, Ter Stegen will also get his shit together. And we have seen glimpses of that so far in the first 2 months of the season and in the first 6 games. Ter Stegen has been amazing in terms of passing a long ball to either Rafinha or Lewandowski or Lamine Yamal or whoever is open in the final third. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but one of the new game plans that Ter Stegen does have that was given by Hansi is for him to find a open man in the final third, whether it is a ball in the air or a ball in the ground. He has been freaking amazing, but nobody wants to call that out. They only want to wait for that one mistake that he makes and then say he's the most horrible goalkeeper in the world. This guy is trash. This guy should not be playing for FC Barcelona. Bring me Astralaga or bring me Kochen or bring me anybody besides Ter Stegen. And I don't think that is ideal. I think that is being very reactionary. I think that when you look at the reality, Barcelona cannot sign a goalkeeper right now. So what is the whole point of shaming Ter Stegen right now when we have Bayern Munich, we have Villarreal, we have other teams that we have to face in the very near future, and it just doesn't make any sense for us to put our goalkeeper down. As a matter of fact, go look at his Instagram. He shut the comments down because he's seeing the comments. He's seeing how the Barcelona fans are reacting. This is because this Barcelona fan base is too toxic and this is not ideal. We cannot be like this. We have to understand and fully assess what Ter Stegen has been doing this season with Barcelona, and yes, he has improved in certain things, and yes, of course, he has to improve on other things like having more command in the back line, and especially when you are a captain. But just because he made a mistake that led towards Barcelona going down to 10 men, and also with Eric García, it does not mean that we have to shame them. We have to uplift them and tell these players they have the capability to fight back, because Barcelona in the end will fight back. You better bet that. Because here's what I found so beautiful about this match between Barcelona and Monaco. Even with 10 players, Barcelona did not give up within their game philosophy. It did showcase their courage and personality. Barcelona's strategy against Monaco was so surprising after Eric García left. I thought that they were just going to sit back, absorb all the pressure of Monaco, and then that's it, right? Just try and maybe tie the game 1-1 or just accept the 1-0 defeat. They went out there and they still pressured the opponent a lot, and even in the final third. And I do think that Hansi Flick's message is very clear. To him, it does not matter. Whether you are down with 11 players or down with 10 players, they are going to play the exact same way. And we saw the spirit. We saw the comeback. It was going to happen. Like when Lamine Yamal scored the goal into the bottom right corner, which was amazing. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Monaco looked very scared. Like they turned off for a good 20 to 25 minutes. They were afraid of Barcelona with 10 men. And that is what I'm talking about. That is what we do need. Now, unfortunately, not everything was going to go perfect because eventually, in the second half, we saw Monaco get the other goal and make it 2-1. But still, the fighting spirit is there, and we as the Barcelona fan base have to go along with that. We have to fight. We cannot say this player is trash, this guy is ass, this guy needs to go somewhere else, not at Barcelona. That is not the way. And Barcelona of course had to pay the price. I mean, like, what else could you do with 10 men? Eventually they were going to get tired, and Monaco's physical dominance, the way that they were able to always run through the final third or try to outbody us, it was a challenge to the team, and I understand that. But keep in mind, Barcelona's defensive commitment was the same. They made 230 pressures in this match, which was the highest in any game this season, and with 10 players, my friends. 10. These players, with Pedri, Yamal, Cubarsí, Casado especially, they believed that they could have came back. They believed that. And that thing, dude, that is just amazing. The mentality of these players has truly changed under Hansi. So when the guy asked, do you think that we should always have a backup plan for this 10-man, 9-man situation? Yes, there is a plan, and that is to play the same. And to Joseph, who also asked, what would you have done if you were Hansi Flick after Eric García was sent off? I would have done the exact same thing, because what other players do we have? Like when Eric García left, like who else, right? Our double pivot after Eric García left was Pedri and Casado. I don't see any other upgrades from that, because Bernal was not there, Gavi was not there, Fermin was not there, Frankie was not there. Who else? Christensen was not there. I would have done the exact same thing, and we did our best. And overall, I was very happy with Pedri's performance against Monaco. The fact that he did play as a number 10 and also as a number 6, Pedri was ranked in second place in this game, who did the most pressures with a total of 34. And that speaks a lot about his level. But these conversations are not being held in the media, like on Twitter, nor on YouTube or ESPN. They're not talking about that. They're saying Pedri, he's not showing what he needs to show, and he's trash and whatever, but they don't ever mention how Barcelona were down by 10 men. They just say Pedri was trash. The end. Done. No context whatsoever. They have an agenda. And once again, I don't understand why us as Barcelona fans have to go along with that agenda. These people need to have more context. Study, read, look at the game, see what Barcelona had to go through. through, understand the mistake. And when you look at these players make mistakes like Ter Stegen or Eric García, look at what they have done before through the season. Were they always like this? Were they always making mistakes? Or were they playing well before this mistake? And when they make one mistake out of like 450 plays or decisions, does that mean that they are a bad player? Let's be very critical here. Let's be professional analyzers. When a player makes a mistake, let's not go, Eric García trash, Ter Stegen trash, go on Twitter and start talking a bunch of stuff like if you guys were 6. You guys are not 6. You guys are old enough to understand the context of a game. So now let's move on towards the next question coming from, again, I'm sorry that if I said this wrong, but you guys can see it on the screen. It says Scouty Liya Chana Gaya 1466. Okay, so he did state, I think Barcelona fans should calm down for the Barcelona versus Bayern Munich match because many are saying that Barcelona can win, but I don't think that is possible because they have more clinical players than Barcelona. Like yesterday, Rafinha had 2 to 3 chances, but he could not finish. These things will happen because lack of clinicality. So essentially we have 6 matches which should have been winning at all costs. But I don't want fans to blame Flick because players are not back and he has no players who are clinical. What is your opinion? So first of all, right, when you say, you know, like the Barcelona fans should calm down before the Barcelona versus Bayern match, I think that it is okay for us to be confident to go in there saying that Barcelona can win. But I also don't think that we should say, you know, Barcelona will win 5-0. There's no chance Bayern Munich can win. We are the best. We have Hansi Flick. We have Hansi Flick football. No one can stop. Like, okay, that's different. So I understand what you're saying. In terms of what you are saying about Rafinha and how he missed 2 to 3 chances, look, once again, let's not look at just one performance and one moment in a game. I have said this before. Don't be like those ESPN analyzers. Look at what Rafinha has been doing in the past 6 matches so we can understand what Rafinha is and how important he is to Barcelona. Yes, he missed 2 to 3 chances, but every player misses 2 to 3 chances. Haaland does, Mbappe does, Vinicius does, Kevin De Bruyne does, Messi, Ronaldo, everybody misses chances. Go look at how Messi performed against Atlanta 2 days ago. Everybody misses chances. It's normal. It does not mean that we should trash on Rafinha. Rafinha has been very important to us. He is going to be missing some chances, and that is fine. To me, he does not move away from my 11. He's a very important player, a great left winger, and a great number 10. And so now I do want to finish this off with AD744 asking, what other teams do you like to watch in other Europe top leagues besides FC Barcelona? And to be honest, I do like seeing Man City. I like seeing Bayern Munich. I'd like seeing Atletico Madrid, a little bit of everything. I don't really have a second favorite team because I do enjoy a lot of football in general. I do like looking at their highlights. Sometimes I see maybe about 25 to 30 minutes of a certain game. I would say, like, if you were to ask me how would you rank it, I would say Barcelona first and by a mile and by like a huge margin. Second place is Man City and third place would be Bayern Munich. So that is it. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you guys in the next one.